right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor that's due to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakha HaKadosh. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings to the 144,000 and the hopeful elect. Shalom Barakatham. And the title of this is going to be the coming days will be an every man for himself scenario. All right. Now, when you hear Yahweh Shai speak, you know, to the Israelites, our people back in the time prior to 70 AD, you know, he basically says we're going to have to be in that pilgrim spirit, you know, spoken about in the book of Esdras, okay, where you're not going to think twice about what you're going to take with you, all right? He said just flee to the mountains, okay? And why did he say that? Because we were going into camp this past week about how the time when the Lord's going to visit this place, and when you read 2nd Esdras, the 5th chapter, how it's going to start with a lot of confusion and noise and things of that nature. Then death and things are going to start happening. And then the men of the Lord are going to be withdrawn off the corners, okay? It says wisdom shall perish from the priests in in Ezekiel 7, okay? And it speaks about that in 2nd Esdras 5:2. It says wisdom would withdraw itself into a corner, roughly paraphrasing. All right. And why is it saying that? It's because as much as is a nice day out today, and you may get along with people, you may have things you do on the weekends, you gotta envision what's getting ready to happen, man. Okay. None of these people, you know, are with you at the end of the day. You know, your woman, your mother, okay. They may be with you now, but you got to understand the Lord is going to pressure test everybody, okay? In 1 Corinthians 3 and 13, it says the manner of man and what foundation a man build on is going to be made known, whether it's wood, hay, stubble, you know, or gold. You know, that the material that you're made out of is going to be revealed. That's why it's referred to as the baptism by fire, because fire is a refining agent, okay? And these people are all divided. Look at how they turn against each other just based on politics, man. You know, because MAGA's divided right now. These people are getting all of these promises broken yet again, bro. Again, you know, and they're crashing out, man. They don't know what to do. Okay, there are people debating about what's a man, what's a woman, what's pronouns. This is all part of the confusion that the Lord said he would hit this place with before he destroyed it. Okay, he said he was going to mingle a perverse spirit, you know, in the middle of Egypt, and that's where we are spiritually speaking. This is Egypt, man. Okay, and the Lord is going to do a miraculous deliverance out of this place again, but it's not going to be without what will be perceived as a close call. Okay, because we're going to witness hella judgments right in front of our very eyes, man. You gotta prepare your mind for that, man. Okay, now we know the Lord's going to make sure that we're good, but the Lord still requires you to put the work in. Okay, you need to be locked into the news. You need to have a spirit of watching. Okay, you got to meditate on things that are dark and that are heavy, you know, because we don't know how we're going to get tried or tested, man. Okay, then it's going to come a day where you're going to have to let all of that go and just go on faith, you know, because the scriptures say that in 2nd Esdras 14, let go of the mortal thoughts. Okay, and our heavy thoughts, okay, and put off the weak nature. You know, you're just gonna have to do that. You have to shrug all of this off, man. Okay, and so it's just a mental, constant. You know, building yourself up and building yourself up and building yourself up, man. Because while all of these other guys are concerned about how many views and how much engagement they're going to get on social media because they're changing the breakdown, they're not really preparing themselves spiritually for what's getting ready to happen. Okay, and you don't want to be those guys where you know a lot of precepts, but spiritually you're not prepared. You didn't really meditate. You didn't consider, you know, what you are a part of. Okay, you weren't really rooted in this thing, and that should be a scary thing because we see guys falling out now, man. Okay. You got guys thinking they're in the new covenant, guys thinking that they are the Most High or they're King David, okay? And all of these, you know, obviously false doctrines, okay? Obviously false. But it didn't stop them from going off, man. Now, what do you think is going to happen when the Lord puts the real pressure up through this devil, man? Because it is going to come. Okay, you got these sundown towns making a resurgence, which they never really went away, but the fact that they're getting advertised again should be very, very telling on what direction these things are going. You know, and you don't want to be that guy, man. Okay, like the Apostle Paul said, he said, "Ye children are not in darkness." Okay, when you read 1 Thessalonians 5, it says there is going to come in as a thief in the night to a particular group of people. You know, so you got to keep those things in mind, man. You know, which group of people are you in? Because the Lord is going to destroy whoever He doesn't choose. Okay, and that should be enough to get you up in the morning. Okay, to put your prayers up. You know, do a fast if you need to, and put the work in necessary so that your sacrifice can be accepted, man. Okay. You got to remember, man, it's not just the fact that you're doing the work. You know, you got to really be for the Most High, man. He said He's going to try the reins of men in Jeremiah 17. Okay? And remember, Cain, he gave up a sacrifice as well, man. Okay? But he gave up a lazy sacrifice. He thought the Most High would just accept any old thing. Okay? He was told that he knew to give the right sacrifice. He knew the sacrifice to give, the right sacrifice to give, but what did He give? He tried to give the Lord some vegetables, man. Okay, some crops. He didn't want to slaughter an animal and give it to the Most High like that, like what was required. Okay, and that's how Esau is. He'll he'll offer up something to say he did it, but he's trying to save money or he's trying to give you the low end. But you can't do that with the Most High, man. Okay, and so don't be in that spirit of Cain where you think you can just do the work and then you can guilt the Most High into delivering you, man. It does not work that way at all. Okay, you gotta be holding on to this thing, man, with fear and trembling, working out your own salvation. Okay, knowing that if you outperform every other man of the Lord in works, the Lord still is justified in not choosing you. Okay, and so when men like us, we meditate on those things, we meditate on the horrors that are to come. What's going to happen in the day of evil, man? Okay, we're going to be good, man. We're going to have a calm spirit on us, where we're able to navigate these evil times and navigate all of the BS. Okay, so I said all that to say, you know, keep tightening yourselves up, man. Brothers that are going through things, whether it be money trouble, financial troubles. Meditate on the evils that are to come. You know, just on my spirit to say that, because these days are going to be something like we've never seen before, man. And that's written, that these days will be like we've never seen before. Okay, so how much more so will it actually be when those days come? Especially if you let yourself get lulled into this soft life, because America, even though it's wicked, it most definitely is a soft life, man. You're living under air conditioning and working a menial job or whatever. Yeah, it might be vexing to the spirit, but compared to what's physically getting ready to go down, this is nothing. Okay? I believe the Lord got us off them plantations so we could freely do the work. That was the purpose of it, you know? It's just that the wicked 2/3 niggas took the same grace and took advantage of it. They abused it, you know? You don't want to be of that lot where you abuse the grace period that the Most High gave you, okay, to do the right thing. So anyway, I'll end it there. That was on my spirit to say, man, Lord willing, this is edifying. Call the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bashim Rakam Shalom. Kwam Yasharal.